Okay, Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Once again, today our lecture is fatty acids. So fatty acid can be defined as these are the organic acid composed of a long hydrocarbon chain with a carboxylic acid group at one end. So look at here, and this fatty acids basically these are organic acids which composed of long hydrocarbon chain with carboxylic acid. It means COOH. This is carboxylic acids and this is alkyl group. So it means that this organic acid consists of long hydrocarbon chain with a carboxylic acid group at one end. Look at here, this is the one end, and with the carboxylic group is attached with alcohol or with alkyl. It can be classified into two categories. Fatty acid, there are two types of fatty acids. So one is saturated fatty acid, the second one is unsaturated fatty acid. So saturated fatty acids are those fatty acids which having no double bond between carbon-carbon atoms. Mean is just like alkanes, which are also called saturated hydrocarbon. So it cannot be saturated further. So we can say that the fatty acid having no double bond between carbon-carbon atoms, and these saturated fatty acid there is only a single bond. So we can say it cannot be broken down. So it cannot be further saturated. It cannot be further modified. So they are stored in animals as a pets. So they are stored in animals as a pets, and the best examples of saturated fatty acid, that is palmitic acid, and with the number of carbon atoms, that is 16, while the second one is stearic acid, and with the number of carbon atoms which consist of 17 carbon atoms. So the difference between palmitic acid and stearic acid, the palmitic acid consists of 16 carbon, while the stearic acid consists of 17 carbon atoms. The second one is unsaturated fatty acids. So unsaturated fatty acids are those fatty acids which having one double bond. There is only one double bond, mean mono unsaturated fatty acids, or you can say more double bond in the polyunsaturated fatty acid. So unsaturated fatty acids is that fatty acid which having only one double bond. You can say it can be further saturated, because the situation here in this case and saturated fatty acids there is no chance, because there is single bond here. There are there may be chances here that in unsaturated fatty acids there is only one double bond. So it means it can be further saturated, it can be further modified. Unsaturated fatty acids, they are further divided into two. One is mono unsaturated fatty acid and the second one is polyunsaturated fatty acid. Now what is mono unsaturated fatty acids? Is that fatty acid which having only one double bonds which is present in their molecules or atoms, or more. When there is more than double bond, so it become poly. Poly mean different, mono mean once. So when there is one double bond is present among their atoms, when the fatty acid having one double bonds, when there is you can say one double bond present in their chain, so it is said to be, you can say, unsaturated fatty acids. When there is more double bonds, so we can say this is here. Look at here, this is polyunsaturated fatty acid between carbon atoms. Unsaturated fatty acid, they are stored in plant seed as oils, while here in this case the saturated fatty acid, they are stored in animals as fats. The best example of unsaturated fatty acids, for examples, monounsaturated fatty acids, for example, palmitoleic acids, which contain 16 carbon atoms, omega 7s, and here is oleic acid, which contain 18 carbon atoms. Now here, look at here, this is what polyunsaturated fatty acids, that is equal to linolenic acids. So linolenic acids, it contain 18 carbon atoms, and you can say omega 3, and this is arachidonic acid, which consists of 20 carbon atoms, and this is linoleic acid, which contain 18 carbon atoms and omega 6. So it come under the category of unsaturated fatty acid. Now onward, I'm going to discuss the about the what are essential fatty acids. So essential fatty acids are those fatty acids which cannot be synthesized by the human bodies and must be taken in the adequate amount, and the diet is called essential amino acids. So as we know that there are different type of amino acids, 20 different type of amino acids. Some of them are essential while some of them are non-essential. Inshallah, it will be discussed in next lecture. But essential fatty acids, they cannot be synthesized by the human body, but it is very important for our diet, which can be ingested from the outside environment. So these are essential fatty acids, like vegetable oils. These are the example of essential fatty acids. Corn, peanuts, olive, cotton, seed, soybean, and other plant oils and animal fats. These are the classical example of essential fatty acids. Now look at here, the biological significance of the lipids. Well, I mean that how this lipid, it is biologically important for our body. So what are the basic biological significance, or you can say the biological application of the lipids? So lipid is responsible to provide more energy per gram than carbohydrate and protein. So in previous lecture we have discussed that if 1 gram of protein they are utilized, so it will give you 4.1 kilocalories energy. So as the same case in carbohydrates, so if 1 gram of carbohydrate or protein they are utilized, so it will give 4.1 kilocalories energy. But here the lipid case is different, because lipid is a you can say heterogeneous group of compound related to fatty acids, so it is a high molecular weight, and you can say lipids if 1 gram of fats, they can be utilized. So 1 gram of fats contain 9.1 kilocalories energy. So it means that here the lipid, it provide more energy per gram than carbohydrate and proteins. So it means in your balanced diet, the diet which contain all kinds of nutrients, it may be qualitative or quantitative, that can fulfill the normal requirement of your body. So it means that you need a little quantity of lipid to maintain your normal balanced diet. So it supply the body with fat soluble vitamin like vitamin A, you can say retinols, vitamin D, cholecalciferol, vitamin E, that is also called you can say tocopherols, and vitamin K. So all these are these kinds of vitamins, they are provided by the lipid. So lipid also play very important and very key role in your balanced diets. So another biological significance or importance of lipid is, so they're the important constituent of nervous systems. So your nervous system, it also consists of lipids. So as we have discussed that there are some drugs which are lipophilic in nature, so it will easily cross the blood-brain barrier because it is composed of cholesterol or lipids. And there are some drugs which are hydrophilic in nature, so they are water soluble, so it cannot cross the blood-brain barrier, but it can be easily excreted from your body. So here the stored lipid act as a store of energy, act as a thermal insulator against the loss of heat. So this is another important function of the lipid. So you can say the stored lipid the stored lipid act as a storage of energy, act as a thermal insulator against the loss of heat. So loss of heat, it act like a thermal insulator, temperature regulation. So you can say it can also regulate your temperature. So basically as well as they are responsible for the you can say the cholesterol, they are used as a precursor for the production of sex hormones, vitamin D and bile acids. So it means that all the nutrients, it may be micronutrients or it may be macronutrients, they are normally required for your physiological activity to maintain the balanced diet.